prefectorial elections where the contestants lure students with a bribe. For example, sweets, or you go to the canteen with your money and you're like, come, I give you a sambusa, right? Yeah? Just to get votes from them. Other students feel that it's only the teachers and the administration who have to fight this. Actually, helping out to fight this practice in school, since we are the ones who are always there practicing and watching it. Same thing, we the citizens feel that it should be only anti-corruption agencies being the only potential force fighting this war. Each and every single day you walk around very proud, very happy, chin up, head up, but when you know that there is a bribe you have given or accepted. Let us come together, play our roles and fight corruption as a joint community. And we shall witness a corrupt-free Uganda. I'm the one and only, some may call handsome and I may agree, Mutesi Gaela Kakaire.
Hello everyone, my name is Algaba Abraham from Bright Grammar Primary School. I'm going to give a speech about we have eyes but we cannot see. Ladies and gentlemen, we have eyes but we cannot see. This fight is not a one-man's fight. I am an African child, one that the West used to be drowning in poverty. Poor education and the worst set of hope. We have forgotten why. Magnificent colors, life, birds, beasts, and hospitality of people, but I see that no more. As our society has grown, graced and protected the devil himself, and by the devil I mean corruption. According to Transparency International, it defines corruption as the dishonest behavior amongst people in authority. I view it as a dirty-faced chameleon, eating everything day and night, changing colors from bribery to police, leaving law and order system broken. To grant theft and graft in public offices, drowning service delivery, to counterfeit contracts and bribes in elections, giving rise to its sons to drink from the cup of its soul. But why? Why have we forgotten that corruption is the darkness that feeds on our fears and greed? That corruption portrays our economy as crippled? That corruption has become the moral fabric that is eating up our nation? Why have we forgotten that because of corruption, hospitals have no drug? That roads aren't made or poorly made. That our politicians, imagine our politicians, have become misleaders, dying with corrupt agents, and whoever tries to speak is persecuted, kidnapped or even killed. Why have we given up the fight even with the vast laws like the Leadership Code Act, Audit Acts, Access to Information Act, and the vast organs like the IGG offices, Anti-Corruption Unit, Leadership Tribe, the devil still leads. No, fellow comrades. No, let us not give up the fight. Engaging the youth like the National Debate Council has done through debate is awareness achieved. The organs of the government should prevent and detect fraud as the ultimate goal to professionalize, modernize, and optimize public services. Report as mandated by the Whistleblowers Act any engagements of corruption. Resist and reject greed and its partnership. Civil society like the Black Monday movement gives to be made allies in this fight. I know corruption hurts us all and the fight is for us all. But why have we forgotten? Let us not forget that if we guard our gates from bottom, corruption has no place. Indeed, I think you have seen that this is not a one-man's fight, but for all of us. Thank you. I remain as God.
Seniors, I guess everyone has seen how public speakers are too hot. to handle. Seniors, please come here.
Distinguished delegates in their different capacities, members of parliament and honorables, greetings to you all. My name is Hermon Asmer from Mango Senior School. We have eyes but cannot see this, that it's not a one-man's fight. Growing up as a girl who got trachoma from a very young age, the one that's progressive and affected me daily, it's covered my eyes with tears. Tears that could hinder me from things that were far. Some point, I even became short-sighted that I could not see. I lost it. I thought that I was going blind. I was going blind. But the sad part of it, my mother took me to the hospital. I had to make big decisions that were beyond, because it had reached its last stage. But the good part of it is here. I had to take an eye surgery to recover my sight. Well, in our country, the part of Africa, Uganda, corruption is now a cancer that has eaten each part of our country. Well, the morals, the governance, and democracy, spreading from one part to another. And people even bribe officials with an envelope saying that admit my child in this hospital. Some even wink at the doctor so that they can get the services before the other. Well, they grab opportunities from others and put them at the sidelining them. We all know anti-corruption agencies like the IGG and PPDA have an essential role to play in the fight, to investigate and prosecute these corruption cases. However, they are just a piece in the puzzle to fight corruption. We need to come together. As patriotic citizens of Uganda, we need to work together, determined and never to give up in this war. We must ensure that we remain vigilant in this fight. It's our fight and we should not give up. We must be whistleblowers, not once, not twice, not thrice, but to expose the government, to expose the citizens that are corrupt, and bring a change that we shall enjoy with the good social services delivered. Lastly, we must uphold and abide by the rules. I mean, have we forgotten the oaths that we swore in and said, as doctors, as teachers, we are going to do our roles? Or even when our leaders stood up here and said, if you put me into power, I will do this. Have we forgotten this just for the case of money? Well, in a nutshell, we see that fighting corruption is not a one-day thing, but a continuous battle that requires us to keep fighting and not give up. With that, we need to create the Pearl of Africa that we dream of, not the pain of Africa. We must use our eyes to see, and that everyone is required in this fight, the stakeholders, the government, and everyone. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samarit Gabriel from Mengo Senior School. I'm going to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. We have eyes but cannot see. We have eyes but cannot see that this is not a man's fight alone. Enough is enough, for corruption has to end. Ladies and gentlemen, the concept of humanity dawns as early as from the creation story of the Bible. You see, Adam was created wonderfully. Even then, he needed a companion. He needed a support system. So at last, God gave him Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, each and every person in the country, let it be the president, the IGG, or to the basic individuals as the students, we depend on each other. But is the question, are we ready to take on this fight to achieve what we want? The fight against corruption is a wholesome vice that requires involvement of every stakeholder, from government officials to citizens. Just like a pride of lions, we need to work hand in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all engage our expectations to various organizations that we give our side to men expecting them to give us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 hands. Why do you think one hand can't clean the dirt by itself, that we need our 2 hands to rub off the dirt of corruption? Ladies and gentlemen, this is basic analogy that we have to keep in mind. Simply in this bracket, we witness the effects of corruption as I regard devastating and horrible. From poor quality health services to poor substandard roads. Ladies and gentlemen, do you ever have a plan to move and find adjustments? One thing we have to do is to avoid ourselves from engaging in corruption scandals. Furthermore, without fear and doubt, hold our public officials accountable. Take the initiative to ask your government. Ask them for transparency. Ask them, where is our money going? Ladies and gentlemen, keep yourselves alerted, for this cancer is ripping our souls apart. We cannot visualize the end of corruption, but we must strive for it has deeply entrenched our society, and this is enough. Do you understand and recognize your role and the importance of your fighting corruption? Together, we can end this vice, for this is not a man's fight alone. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those wonderful speeches. And as public speech, we are done. We are going to come with results later on. Thank you. Over to you, the MC.
In Luganda we say, tetutudde. In Runyankole we say, tichtami. What do we say in Acholi? How do we say we are not seated in Acholi? Pardon? Poor better. Wow. How do we say my brothers and sisters from the east? Pardon? Dabasoga? Titu Chaime? Wow. Well, I'd like to congratulate the public speaking track for the tremendous for the tremendous work we have done. Next on stage, we are going to be having a speech from Mr. Josephat Nwabine, the Assistant Director, Stakeholders Engagement of the Office of the Auditor General. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, MC. I think we have members of parliament here. I would address myself to the honorable members of parliament if they are here. IGG, Executive Director, PPDA, State House and Corruption Unit Representative, our supporters, our big supporters, GIZ, then today's show being spearheaded by National Debate Council. Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, I'm at the risk of trying to imitate the young people, public speaking. The competition in public speaking, I'm not here for that, but I'm here to tell you that we can join the fight together, isn't it? Yeah? And because of this fight, you are here. So this is a big fight. How many of you have come to Kampala for the first time? There are some people. Yeah? Yes, yes. So welcome to Kampala, and because of this fight, you are in Kampala. I am here. I have been introduced. I am Nwabine Josephat, and I work with the Office of the Auditor General as an Assistant Director, Stakeholder Engagement. And I heard the public speakers saying it involves all the stakeholders. So you are part of the people I have engaged in this fight so that we can fight together, both young, old, State House, PPDA. We have to combine in this fight. So that's partly why I am here. So the Office of the Auditor General, which is part of this fight we're talking about, is a constitutional office under Article 163 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. I have heard you mention acts, bills, whistleblowers acts, so I know when I talk about the Constitution, you are not lost, isn't it? Because you know these things. Now, the Office of the Auditor, the role is to audit and report on the public accounts of Uganda, the whole country of Uganda, and particularly courts, central and local government, universities and public institutions, public corporations, which include ministries, departments, agencies, and any other bodies established by an act of parliament. So Auditor General will always be in those places. And but our mission, our big vision is really a model supreme audit institution that adds value to society. You are part of the society, and we think that if we undertake our audits purposefully, then we shall add value to the society that we live in. But basically, what do we audit? So there are types of audits that we do. One is financial audits. Those schools where you study from are given money every year, okay? And every school is supposed to prepare a report of the money you received and how you spent it. And the Auditor General is supposed to come and check that that report is correct in terms of the content that is there and what is being reported was actually undertaken. That's one of the roles. So we do financial audits. We also do performance audits. I'll pause there. When we talk of performance, it means that when we are given money, how has it performed? The shilling, 1 shilling against what was achieved from the shilling that was given to you. Then we also do compliance audits. Compliance audits, those laws that we have been reciting here, Whistleblowers Bill, the Public Finance Management Act, And all the roads that are in Uganda, they have an implication in terms of auditing. So when we audit, we want to check the people, the leaders, are they following, are they adhering to the laws that they are supposed to adhere to? Then we do forensic audits, forensic and investigation audits. Now forensic audits are deeper and are mainly conducted purposely for evidence as evidence for in courts of law. Do you know courts of law? Yes, so when State House Anti-Corruption Unit arrests people, they may not have the mandate and capacity to do those deeper audits. So we collaborate together and undertake a forensic audit to get to the root of the problem. And then we give evidence in courts, and then we support each other in that fight. Then we also do information technology audits because, like you know, most of the things that are taking place, the expenditures, the revenues are all IT based, and therefore we have to check those information technology systems that they are working. But how do we do this? How do we do this? We have a step-by-step process in our office. I will not go into that, but we start by engaging the people we audit. We engage them and discuss what we are going to do with them. Then we plan at our office and put in place teams, resources to undertake the audits. Then after that, we undertake the audits and prepare reports. Now, after we have prepared a report, our report is prepared on the 31st of December of every year. 31st of December of every year, the Auditor General must prepare a report of the previous financial year. And this report is handed over or is submitted to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. The Auditor General reports to Parliament. Here where you are, okay, is where we report. And then when the report comes, it is discussed by what is called, they are called the Standing Committees of Parliament. So these are, we have the Public Accounts Committee, which discusses reports of the central government. We have a committee on public accounts, commissions, statutory authorities, and state enterprises. It's usually called COSASE. If you have been watching TV, you have seen what is called COSASE when they are debating the reports of the Auditor General. And also, there is a committee on the public accounts of local governments. So that one deals with mainly districts and local authorities. And if we make reports about schools, they also go to that committee of Parliament. Now, how do we contribute to TAC? What is provide an oversight role of public resources? So we play that role to ensure that the resources which are appropriated by Parliament are followed to ensure that the purpose is achieved. Two, the anti-corruption agencies, we provide them information during investigation. When we make our reports, then we give to IGG, to CID, we give copies, and then there are matters in those reports which can be followed by Parliament. Which can be investigated by those other anti-corruption agencies. Three is to detecting public sector corruption. So we are introducing the head of the component, Mr. Tassiro, talked about the citizens' feedback platform. Do you have phones? Yeah? Smartphones? No. Okay. But if you go and you meet anybody who has a smartphone, because some of you at your age, you cannot have the phones, isn't it? But can help us to tell people who have phones that if you have a phone, check on your phone. I know when I talk of an application on the phone, all of you understand. It is what they call an application on the phone. So if you can get an application on the phone, it is called the OAG Citizens Feedback. OAG Citizens Feedback. Let people get that application and they can use it to give us information at Auditor General's office, which we can use to better our work, like Mr. Tassiro was explaining. Yeah. We also make recommendations, and we are putting in place a system, a mechanism to track those recommendations so that they are implemented, because we are being asked, Auditor General, why are you always recommending? But now we are following up the recommendations, and we hope by following up, then it will help to strengthen the fight against corruption. Lastly, we do value for money audits. Value for money means the money which you have received, has it done what it was supposed to do? In terms of delivery, if you are given money to build a school, have you built a school efficiently and have used the right materials? That's part of the support that we do. And I want to thank the organizers of today for inviting us here, and pledge that really we shall continue where we can to be with you, and also urge you to do more. I wish this was spreading in all the schools. Then I think the future of Uganda with these young people will create an impact and a change in the community, and therefore you can better the service delivery issues that we are talking about and contribute to the betterment of our country. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Another round of applause. Next, we are going to be going to the second last competition of the NSDC competition 2022-2023, and that is the Junior Debate Finals. Some love for the Junior Debate Finals. After that, we shall have the Senior Debate Finals too. So for the participants in that category, please get ready. The entire house is waiting for your arguments. So I'll take this honor to welcome Mr. Peter Elianu, who is the Chief Adjudicator for the Junior Debate Finals. You're welcome, Peter. The floor is yours.
Hi guys, good afternoon. I think the problem with it being the second last is we pay less attention, so I'm just going to humbly beg us to put our attention for the primary students, because they have done a lot in this entire tournament. So one more time, for all the teams that are here, let's put a round of applause. So as we all know, we had 8 teams in the entire tournament for the primary section, but we were able to emerge 2 finalists in this entire tournament. And the schools are in the affirmative and in the negative. I won't mention their names, they will come out here and they will mention what school they're from. So for the finalists, if you know you're in the finals, kindly move to the stage. Let's give them a round of applause as they come. Let's keep giving them a round of applause till they get here. As we can see, we have little people there, little angels we call them, right? So, I will give them the opportunity to let you know which side they will be debating from, because we believe they have all the energy and audacity to tell you what side. We won't babysit them because they are honorables today, okay?
Good evening, everyone. In today's debate, we are the farmers, and we are from parental care, nursery, and primary school, Bushane.
All right, parental care is in the finals. Then we have the next school.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Brighton Grammar Primary School, and we are going to be negating the motion of today.
All right, speakers, we shall have the affirmative here and we shall have the negative there. Now, we all know every debate tournament would be incomplete without the judges. Today's panel is going to be made up of 5, me inclusive. I'm going to have the honor to introduce to you the panel that will be judging with me. The first individual who will be judging with me is a politician. He of recent has been elected and is the new guild speaker for Blue University. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Right Honorable, I hope I don't mess this up, Right Honorable Odida Jackson. Now, as he's coming to the floor, the next judge for this round will be none other than, we call him one of the most experienced judges we know. It's none other than Kakanda Felix. Kindly come to the floor. Now, we at NDC also believe in equality, and with equality comes equity. We think we need to have some balance in whatever we do. That is why this panel will also be made up of 2 female judges who will be helping us in the entire program. Put your hands together. She is the Miss Tourism for Busoga region. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Sirimonda Ishani. We know that queens take their time, so let's keep clapping until she comes down. And also, now this is interesting. This seems to be her one of the few tournaments she's doing. Right. This has been her initial tournaments to actually. But with every round that went forward, she was able to show us that she was capable, to show us that she had every. All right. As I was saying, the next judge who's coming to the floor was the judge who was able to show us that she was capable, who was able to show us that she took her time to give analysis and sit down and be able to adjudicate properly. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Miremba Prissy Samantha. And lastly, let me give you guys a brief history on him. Most people say that he has developed in judging. They say that he has broken in multiple tournaments. They also claim that he has been able to do a well-rounded up job with the juniors in this category. That's why we had to break him and make him the chair for the round. Ladies and gentlemen, me, Eliana Teta. The motion for these finals is, in a bid to strengthen transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption, this House prefers appointment-based student leadership to election-based student leadership. One last time. In a bid to strengthen transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption, this House prefers appointment-based student leadership to election-based student leadership. Once again, good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter, and I will be the chair for this round. I will let Kenyana time for this round, and she'll give you information on how she's going to do her timing. Is that understood?
Hello, debaters. So I'm going to be doing your timing. Each speaker has 3.5 minutes of presentation. After the first minute is up, I will do this to indicate that your first minute of protected time is up. When you're up to your last minute, I will also indicate. And when your time is done, I will clap my hands 3 times. Best of luck.
Okay, before the first speaker gets to the floor, understand that we need you to debate from the podium, okay? We shall welcome the first speaker to the floor.
Resolved. Dear judges, in today's debate, we as the proposers, we have identified the problem as corruption. The first thing that comes into our mind, how does this corruption come about? This corruption comes about through bribery and favorism. What solution do we bring up? We believe that appointment-based student leadership is the one that should be used in order to reduce this corruption. How? We want to use appointment-based student leadership because, first of all, appointment-based student leadership does not involve corruption such as bribery. Now, let me come to the definitions in this motion. The first one, appointment-based student leadership. We define it's the style of leadership when students are appointed or chosen by the school board of governors and teachers, or should I call it the committee. Then, election-based student leadership. It's the style of leadership when the students are voted for. Our team case is that, first of all, we want to give you our reasons why we have decided that appointment-based leadership is the best way in promoting transparency and accountability. As I have said, the committee is the one responsible for choosing the student leaders. So which means that the committee is made up of the board of governors and teachers. We realize that these people are adults, and we all know the qualities of adults. We all know that adults have more information and experience more than students. The second reason is that we all know that adults are less corrupt compared to students. Hold on. We see that adults have money. These teachers, this board of governors get a salary. So which means that for them to be bribed, this could be impossible, because I have my own money, I get a salary. You can't just easily bribe me. But I'm a student, I have less pocket money. If you offer me, I will accept. So we believe that these adults are the ones who should choose these leaders because they are less corrupt. Okay, we all know that when they are choosing these leaders, they base on merits such as honesty, obedience, confidence, teamwork, hard work, and discipline. What are the impacts of this? Since they base on these merits, capable leaders will be chosen. And what are the impacts of having capable leaders? When we have capable leaders, these capable leaders will promote transparency and accountability. How do they promote transparency and accountability? First of all, we have said these students are honest, so which means that any form of corruption they have witnessed, they will be able to report it to the school administration body because they have been appointed by the school board of governors, so which means that they can easily corroborate with the school board of governors. Then we believe that these students chosen can easily corroborate with the students. So as I rest my case, we believe that appointment-based student leadership should be the one used because adults are the one who choose their leaders, and we believe that adults are more responsible compared to the students. I rest my case.
We thank the speaker for that fine speech. We welcome the next speaker. As we come into the floor, give one mic to the opposing side. They already do have a mic.
Thank you, dear beloved judge, for this golden opportunity. As the motion of today states that, in the bid to strengthen transparency and accountability, this House prefers appointment-based leadership to election-based leadership. To start with but not end with, the first upper of today has come here and told us in the debate of today they have problems like bribery. Not knowing that according to the Ministry of Education and Sports, says that when these students are electing the leaders, they do not allow money. That means the affirmative side of today is totally contradicting with the Ministry of Education and Sports. They came here and told us that they are trying to solve a problem of favorism, where we totally agree, because the teachers are going to favor the students, they're going to favor other students, yes, and that means the affirmative side of today is not trying to solve the problem of favorism, hence leading to the problem of favorism, our dear beloved judge. They came here and defined election-based leadership as where students are voted. Here, voted, and we know that a form of democracy, they are voting of the people or their beloved. That means that the negative side of today, we are saying that in the supporting of election-based leadership, we are promoting democracy, where we know that democracy is also going to reduce corruption in our country. They came here and defined appointment-based leadership as when students are appointed by the committee. I would want to ask the affirmative team of today whether they believe that everyone has two personalities. That means these people are going to pretend in front of the committee, and the students are not also going to vote the students. Yet these students are the people allowed.
Can children pretend honesty and confidence?
Thank you. I've understood your question. As I said that everyone has two personalities. The people are going to pretend in front of the committee because they know that the committee is going to sit down and choose the leaders that are going to be leading the schools or their beloved. And since the students have been with them for a long time, that means that students know every behavior, but they're not going to allow the students to vote them or their beloved. The affirmative side of today came here and told us that the adults are going to be the ones who are going to vote the leaders that are going to be used in the schools. And they came here and clarified to the house of today that the adults are going to be with a lot of money and the students are going to be with less money. That means that there is going to be bribery or their beloved. As a negative side of today, I'll totally disagree with the motion of today because first of all, election-based leadership is going to promote democracy in the first place and also going to groom children for the future elections. And the appointment-based leadership, first of all, as I said that people have to double personalities, it is also going to promote bribery in our country and also misuse of office. Since these people are not going to be caring about the students' feelings and they are going to be caring about only the interests of the teachers or their beloved. And it's also going to lead to the violation of the fundamental right, which is to vote or their beloved. We are getting from the Constitution of Uganda 1995. Our dear beloved judge, corruption has long been a problem in Uganda, with the country ranking 140th out of 180 countries in Transparency International's Corruption Index. And according... I rest my case.
We thank the speaker for that fine speech. Welcome the next speaker.
Our burden in this debate today was to prove why appointment-based leadership is better than election-based leadership in promoting talent. Before I begin, let me first begin with the rebuttals. Meanwhile, the first negator comes here telling us about that there is favorism among teachers. But we really believe that these teachers have a lot of friends, and when they are going to appoint according to many things. They are going to appoint according to honesty, obedience, confidence, hard work, and teamwork. So they are going to appoint the best, who is going to lead to a very good work in the school. Also, they come here telling us about that adults have a lot of money. They also tell us that children have little money. So let us compare. We really believe that since these teachers have a lot of money, they won't be able to allow bribes. That's really proof sure that since the teachers have a lot of money, they won't be easily bribed. Now let me also continue. Why do students choose bad leaders? Students choose bad leaders because they are friendly to them. Secondly, students choose bad leaders because these leaders bribe their students. The third answer, students choose bad leaders because these leaders whom they are going to choose are incompetent. They really know that when they do a wrong thing, they are going to support them. Instead of solving the problem, they are going to support them. Most definitely, these leaders won't be able to go to report. Now let me continue. This is why appointment-based leadership is good. Let me begin with my reasons. In appointment-based leadership, there are no riots and strikes in schools. Why do I say that there are no riots and strikes in schools? Because leaders are obedient. They report each and every problem which is going to happen in the school. There's no way you can tell me that when the leader is obedient, that leader won't be able to report the problem. And what is the impact of this? There is going to be peace in the school. students. How can a poor person come and support the teacher? Now what are the advantages of appointment-based leadership? Well, we have said that it is based on merit, honesty, obedience, confidence, hard work, and teamwork. So they're going to choose capable leaders. Now let me go to the comparative. In a world where there is appointment-based leadership and in a world where there is no appointment-based leadership, let's begin in a world where there is appointment-based leadership. There will be no corruption, no riots and strikes in school, which results into peace, and the impact of that is transparency. In a world where there is no appointment-based leadership, there will be corruption, there will be riots and strikes in school, whereby there will be no peace. So whereby the negators, at the end of the day, they won't have promoted transparency, whereby the students are not going to be honest, which is leading to corruption. As I conclude my speech, I say that these students are still children. They still need to be guided. So that is why we say that appointment-based leadership is better than election-based leadership. I rest my case.
We thank the speaker for that fine speech. We welcome the next speaker. Here.
Thank you, Adi Abdul, for this golden opportunity. As today's motion states that in a bid to strengthen transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption, this House prefers appointment-based leadership, student leadership to election-based. And we as the negative team can here say that the affirmative team of DEC has come here and argued that adults have received enough salary and they cannot accept bribe from parents. Did you know that there are some teachers who are greedy? Whereby these parents, these teachers, they will automatically accept bribes from these parents, whereby they will favor those children who even do not care about those the children is what the children like. Then they will lead the children, therefore leading to violating a child's fundamental right of voting. Whereby if we choose this appointment-based leadership, we are not going to be respecting the child's right of voting. Whereby if we are not respecting the child's right of voting, as the second speaker has come here and said that if they choose the appointment-based leadership, there won't be strikes in the school. Did you know that if you are choosing a person whom a person does not know, first of all, these children will strike since you have picked a leader whom they don't like. But if you give them freedom to vote, they will definitely. I'll take it later. They will definitely like that leader who cares about their problems, whereby if they are going to, if that person sees that there is something which is mistreating the children, will definitely tell the teachers who are responsible. But if you are putting this person in appointment leadership, this person first of all will just be taking what the teacher will do something in the favor of a teacher, but not caring about what the children like. I'll take it later. Hence leading to those people will definitely lose public trust or student trust. But whereby we as a negative team come here with a plan of using the election-based leadership. Why? Because these children will be given a chance to vote for the people whom they like, and these people whom they are going to vote for, we believe that these people are going to be able to fulfill what the students like. Not like if you are using the appointment-based leadership, whereby these people are not going to be caring about what the students like, whereby if you are using the election-based leadership, definitely the students will definitely choose their own leaders, and therefore choosing the leaders who definitely like what they choose. And the affirmative team of comes here and argues that people do not have two personalities, and thereby inform them that people, they may be their friends, and they pretend that they may be with the teachers and pretend that they are good, they are honest, they are doing what they are obedient. But when they are with their friends, they are stubborn first of all. They are the ones who mistreat their friends in the dormitories. Whereby if you allow these children to lead, they will definitely do the same, and therefore they will lead to strikes in the school. Whereby the affirmative team of today came here and said that if you are using the appointment-based leadership, it will not lead to strikes in school. That's why we as affirmative team of today the negative team of today come here and say that instead of using the appointment-based leadership, we are going to use the election-based leadership, whereby this leadership will not violate a person's right of voting. I rest my case.
We thank the speaker for that fine speech. We welcome the last speaker from the affirmative. Here, here.
Good evening, everyone. Resolved. Our dear judges, we see the dear negators come here telling us that when we give these children the right to choose their own leaders, they will choose the leaders who they know they will care for them. Our dear judges, you see that shows that they are choosing these leaders because they want these leaders to come and care for them, not to care for others. That is what we call favorism. Our dear judges, they have said that these students, there are students who have different personalities. But when we are going to carry out this appointment-based leadership, we shall first investigate. We see what is the behaviors of this person when he's in the dormitory. What is the behaviors of this person when he's in class. So we are seeing that these people won't be able to pretend. But our dear judges, let's first hear about this. Can you pretend to be confident when they can put you on the stage and start shivering? Our dear judges, we are seeing they can't pretend. We have them. Our dear judges, we are seeing they say that there are parents who will come and bribe the teachers. But our dear judges, we are seeing, is there a person? We all know there are children who are teachers who receive 4 million. So they need to get another level at risk. They need to increase on their salary. So they are telling us that out of the 100 teachers, I will pick you in my last minute. Our dear judges, we are seeing that there are is there a parent who can manage to pay 100 teachers? Is there a parent who has all that money to us just because he or she wants the child to be a leader? Our dear judges, we are seeing that. Our dear judges, they talk about that we are going when we carry out appointment-based leadership, we shall be denying the rights of the children to vote. But our dear judges, the only people who are allowed to vote are people who are old, who know, who make good decisions. Not these children who just choose leaders because they know they are their friends. They just choose carelessly because they know when my friend goes in power, he or she will help me. I'll never be written on the list of noisemakers. Thus I conclude my speech. I say we have been able to win this debate because we have rebutted most of the points of the dear negators, and we have proven to you why appointment-based leadership is the best solution. Now let's compare a world where there is appointed-based leadership and a world where there is election-based leadership. We see in a world where there is election-based leadership, there are leaders who just do nothing but caring for their friends. And in the world where there is appointment-based leadership, they are leaders who are honest, transparent, accountable, responsible. Our dear judges, we are seeing that. But when there is election-based leadership, we are seeing these children are the children just pick leaders who they are friends because they want them to help them, never to appear on them list of noisemakers or crime makers. I will rest my case for God and my country.
We thank the speaker for that fine speech. We welcome the last negative. Here, here.
Thank you, Adia Bilaja, for this golden opportunity. Human intelligence is given to everyone in the world, but opportunity is not. This means that the affirmative team of today has refused to understand the point that without democracy, there is corruption, Adia Bilaja. So how are these people going to become accountable, responsible, and transparent, yet we have corruption in schools, Adia Bilaja? That's why we as negative team stand strong and support the election-based leadership. We as negative team were claiming that election-based leadership is the suitable leadership in all schools on 2 grounds. One, we are not going to violate the fundamental right of children to vote. 2, we are going to let children more than leaders that they favor our dear beloved judge. The affirmative team of today has come and clarified that they want these children to mistreat other children in a way that they came and they said that they are not, that why they are besting, that they are not going to allow these children in the election-based leadership, that these children elect these leaders according to their favor our dear beloved judge. So we are not going to mistreat direct as the affirmative team of them is trying to do. Our dear beloved judge, the affirmative team of them comes and claims that they are going to promote accountability, transparency in these children. What they don't know that when we are with this appointment-based leadership, these parents can come and break their teachers, whereby that negator come and say that there is no parents who can break 100 teachers. Our dear negators, I want to inform you that if another parent breaks one teacher, that's enough for the child to be appointed. Our dear beloved child, we have team affirmative are also claiming that we have these leaders that are elected in the elected-based leadership are suitable for these children in a way that these children are going to vote the leaders that they know that one, they can take care of them. Two, we are doing this because we want to groom these children for the future elections. Because we know that in the national elections, we are not going to use the appointment-based leadership. The affirmative team of them is also claiming that these adults are the ones who choose leaders because these adults are intelligent enough. As a wise man once said, no one is 100% intelligent. So we cannot agree to the fact what the affirmative team of them is saying that these teachers are going to appoint only those people who are honest, because we know a person can have two personalities, whereby this person is going to come behave honest in front of this committee, and when they go back like to the dormitories, break time, these people are going to behave in a weird way, whereby the affirmative team comes and says that they are going to first investigate, but during that period of time when the person knows that yes, they are going to elect, because I know when elections are going to take place, they first inform the whole school. These people will change their personalities and they turn into good people. Oh dear beloved, we must send the defense of that, because they are not going to violate the fundamental rights of people, the fundamental rights of children to vote. Our dear beloved, we want we want to prevent corruption, whereby these children are going to vote the leaders that they know are honest, the leaders that they know they can care for them, and the leaders that they know that are transparent. I rest my case.
We thank the speakers for their speeches. We welcome reply speeches.
Thank you, our dear beloved judge, for this golden opportunity. We meet once again in the same debate, as the motion of today states that in a bid to strengthen transparency and accountability, this House prefers appointment-based leadership to election-based leadership. And we, as the negative team of today, have been debating against the motion of today on 2 points. One, because if we allow the appointment-based leadership, because people have two double personalities, and these people are going to pretend in front of the administration, and they are going to show their real behavior in front of the students. That means the administration is going to choose the people who are not honest, and they are not going to promote transparency and accountability in schools. Two, and we are also arguing against the motion of today because appointment-based leadership is going to promote bribery in a way that a child is going to, since my educator came here and told you that the teachers are going to first announce to the whole school that we are going to appoint leaders. That means the child is going to go at home and tell the parent that they are going to appoint leaders, and the parent is obviously going to go to the teacher and bribe that teacher that appoint my child and I'm going to give you such an amount of money, because according to the Ministry of Education and Sports,
resolved. Dear judges, in today's debate we had two key points. We said that the committee or the Board of Governors and Teachers have more information, have more experience, less corrupt compared to the candidates. This committee may be corrupt, but it's less corrupt compared to the students. When the committee is choosing these student leaders, it bases on merits, honesty, and obedience. The opposers tell us that children have their personalities. How do we reply to this? We want to tell you that no child in the country can act to be honest or confident. That is a lie. Then we see that when these candidates, when these students are chosen according to their merits, capable leaders will be chosen, hence promoting transparency and accountability. Let me come to the comparative. Appointment-based leadership. It involves no bribery and no favorism, because we see that the board of governors, or should I call them the teachers, are many. So they say that a parent can bribe one teacher and the child can become a student leader. But I want to tell you that is a lie, because the board of governors would agree with that one teacher. I disagree to what you just saying. Okay, then we see election-based leadership. It contains bribery and favorism, hence increasing corruption, decreasing transparency and accountability. I rest my case.
We thank all the speakers who have brilliantly presented their points. Now it's time for CAP to go and sit down and finalize with the most important aspect of the day. And one more time, let's give them a round of applause. Oh, let's kindly shake hands. We're not fighting here.
Smile a bit. Another round of applause for these great juniors. I must say, in 2013, when I was debating just like them, there are certain words and knowledges and analysis these guys have that I never ever thought about. Still, I think I got to secondary school or university, one of the two. But I must say, these are great minds. And wow. Next, as the seniors prepare for their finals, we are going to have a speech from Mr. Ezekiel Okoth, Deputy Head State House Anti-Corruption Unit. You're welcome, sir.
The Executive Director, PPDA, the Executive Director, NDC, representatives of our host today, Parliament of Uganda, representatives of the anti-corruption agencies, head teachers, students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is our fight. We are not backing down. I think these words are going to echo in my mind for the rest of the evening, especially when the little girl was here and she called out to Uganda, to us Ugandans 3 times. I hope we can heed to that call and not back down. My name is Israel Ochuo. I was baptized Ezekiel Okoth today, but Ezekiel, like Israel, is a powerful name in the Bible, and Okoth is also from Toro where I hail, so I will take them all. Allow me, first of all, convey apologies from Brigadier General Henry Isoke, the head of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, who should have been here today, but at the last minute got other assignments and could not attend. He asked me to represent him and make a few comments on his behalf. And first of all, he asked me to thank the National Debate Council, particularly the Executive Director, Mr. Augusta Kakaira, and his team for being great stakeholders in the fight against corruption through mobilizing the youth by conducting debates in which ethical values which are important to the moral foundation in the fight against corruption are built. He also asked me to thank the leadership of the various schools which have over time facilitated and promoted these debates among the students on anti-corruption themes. In this way, he thinks we shall be able to build a critical mass of youthful cadres that will assist in the fight against corruption in our country. Lastly, he also asked me to thank the participants in these debates, the students, the pupils, and by extension their respective schools, especially those that shall excel and be given awards at the end of this championship. And he notes that their victories will be a source of inspiration for their continued efforts to have this kind of programs conducted. He also conveyed his thanks to the Speaker of Parliament and the team at Parliament for accepting graciously to hold this grand finale at the House of Parliament, where ordinarily views are exchanged in assessing how government, how various issues affecting the people can be solved by government. Ladies and gentlemen, the things we talk about today, transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption, are very interconnected themes. Transparency means the sharing of information, especially in terms of the anti-corruption fight of what government is doing. Accountability means willingness to be held accountable or take responsibility for our actions. And then anti-corruption, which I will define as that the various mechanisms that are put in place to deal with corruption, which from the debates that we've had here, all of us clearly understand. I think these concepts, if we look at them in the context of the activity we are doing here, are really not misplaced. At the last time I attended an NDC function, some people will think when we hold these debates and we come here, we are just providing an opportunity for young people to maybe merely enjoy themselves, but I want to think otherwise. Our population is 70% young, that mostly youthful. That has been emphasized in this gathering. And these debates offer or have the potential of having a multiplier effect. From what I have gathered, regionally 150 schools participated and another 70 are participating at what we are having today. I think if we translated this, the effect we have at the various schools where all these activities started, then we are going to have a very purposeful way of driving this message to the youth who are the majority of our population. These debates also offer a chance for something we lack in this country, which is civilized and meaningful discourse on the issues that affect us. And I think that we are inculcating this in the young people from an early age is a good thing. I always say, if you're going to debate, you cannot just walk on the stage here and debate. You must be informed about what you're going to debate about. And to be informed, you have to do research. And to do research, you must know where to get this information. And when you get information, It is not enough to get it. You also must know, if you're to be a good debater, how to apply this information to the context in which you're debating, how it affects your side as an affirmative side, or how it affects your position as the negating side. And so therefore, a debater is a well-rounded person who is able to find information and know where to find it, and is able to critically think and apply this information in the context that he finds himself in. Now, a person who goes through all those is going to be able to use these skills in dealing with these concepts of transparency. So if you cannot research, if you cannot critically think to apply information you found, then when through transparency information is given to you about government activities, you are not going to be able to apply that information. And therefore, that key component in fighting corruption will be lost. Similarly, accountability has two sides. It is the ability to be responsible for our actions, but also accountability connotes the other end of it, that there must be someone to hold you to account. Again, if the citizen is not able to hold the leaders to account, then whatever information and the whole concept of accountability will be lost. So debate enables us to have confident people who have researched, who are able to think critically, and who can have that confidence, like they stand here, to stand later on in life for the young ones, to demand for accountability from their leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, these concepts are interconnected, and they play a key factor in helping us deal with corruption. But central to all these concepts working is something we have discovered in the course of our work as the agencies involved in tackling corruption, that we cannot do this without the involvement of the citizen. The citizen is key, because the citizen is the one who sits close to the health center where there are no drugs. So if the citizen gets the information that there are no drugs, it is the citizen who will alert the IGG, it is the citizen who will alert his local leader, it is the citizen who will alert the anti-corruption unit, it is the citizen who will notice that a contract that was given to company X, which started the work, is now being implemented by company Y, and probably bring that to the attention of the Public Procurement and Disposal Authority. So we need active citizens. And the Constitution in Article 17 places that role on us all to tackle corruption. And I am happy that through these engagements, we are engaging the citizens when they are young to be active stakeholders in the fight against corruption. So please, I implore you, do not leave this fight to the anti-corruption agencies. Amongst ourselves, we have already realized the impact of collective and collaborative actions, and we work very well within ourselves as agencies and with other stakeholders like NDC. And we pray that the citizens now come on board from wherever you are, you become leaders and champions in the anti-corruption fight, and partner with us in dealing with this vice. I thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Israel. Apologies for using a wrong name earlier on. Right about now, we are going to the last. So sad that we are having the last bits of the fun, of the amazing contributions and arguments and presentations from the students. At this point, you're going to be having the senior debate finals on stage. Can we give a shout out to the schools that are going to be here in the finals? Which was the first school? Which one? Smacking Full, St. Mary's College in the finals. The other school, Kawempe Muslims. Wow. At this point, I do not want to waste time or spoil anything. I'm going to welcome Miss Kenya Nasara Rusoke to come and take up for this session. Sarah, you're welcome. Our beautiful queen.
Hello. Once again, I want to thank you all for being patient this far. And I want to congratulate all the tracks and all the debaters, public speakers, poets, storytellers that have been able to show us their might, their talent, and help us identify how, as young people, we can fit into the anti-corruption solution. I am going to invite the teams that have successfully made it to the final. Allow me note that we had 50 teams from 50 secondary schools across the country competing in the senior debate category. So for 2 teams to be able to make it to this day, it's truly worth celebrating, and they deserve a really, really huge round of applause. So I congratulate the teams. St. Mary's College Kisubi, please step forward. And Kawempe Muslim School, secondary school. Allow me also note that this is the very first time Kawempe Muslim is making it to the NDC finals, and yet they are on the final round. It is something really huge, and we celebrate you. But feel free not to come, because we have other 2 teams in semi-finals that we can invite. Where are the teams? St. Mary's College Kisubi and Kawempe Muslim. Oh. Welcome. The pairings have been as follows. St. Mary's College Kisubi is going to be affirming, and Kawempe Muslim is going to be negating. And as far as seating go, the affirmative sit on the right-hand side of the judge, and the negative sit on the left-hand side. So, I am now going to take this opportunity to invite judges. We had 50 teams competing in the senior category, and we also had 40 judges judging these 50 teams. However, at the final panel tonight, out of the 40 judges, we only break 7. So 33 judges, their rounds ended yesterday. So we want to take this opportunity to congratulate the judges that have made it to the final panel. And as I tell you who the judge is, I'll also help to give you a little background of who they are and what they do. The first judge to qualify for the final panel is going to be Simon Luswata. For those of you who have, you're still in secondary. Now at university level, Simon is a 2-time champion of university debates. 2-time champion of university debates. And he did incredibly well as a judge, and the students recognized him as the best judge. So he gets to grace our panel tonight. Thank you so much, Simon. The second judge that we're going to have is Mr. Cohen Mugisha. Mr. Cohen Mugisha is a man, for most of you, who you will never know his age. He has been at every NDC tournament. He has been a tournament director for 3 years running. He has been on CAP for 3 years. He has been the programs officer of National Debate Council for as long as I remember debating. And he's still looking very young and very fresh. Please allow me congratulate Cohen Mugisha upon making it to the panel. The third person I'm going to call is none other than Mr. Ivan Munanura. Mr. Ivan Munanura is the only person in this room who has debated in this tournament from the very beginning in 2009. He has been on CAP at least 4 times, and he is an incredible judge as he is an incredible speaker. So please clap for him because, you know. The third judge I'm going to call is Mr. Titus Ngabirano. We had judges that topped the tab, and all the judges I'm reading were voted by you as best judges. Ngabirano Titus is an engineer. By the way, Cohen is a teacher, Ngabirano is an engineer, and an engineer who is also an ardent debater. He has broken in several tournaments like NDC 2014, NBS Debates 2016 and 17, Uganda Debate Nationals 2021-2022, OIF Finalists 2022, Best Speaker in several of these tournaments, and we are very lucky, extremely lucky to have you. Thank you for coming, Mr. Ivan. The next judge I'm going to call is none other than Brian Onenruot, all the way from northern Uganda. Brian Onenruot is part of the Northern Uganda Debate Society. He has been a top standing judge in both regional debate qualifiers, the championship of NDC that we had in 2022, as well as this particular tournament, where most of you indicated that he was not just an outstanding judge, he is also an incredible person. We are very lucky to have you, Mr. Brian. The next judge we are going to have is a very distinct one. Allow me invite Mr. Abbas Luyombo. Now, Mr. Abbas Luyombo has won more tournaments here than any of us in this room. As if that's not enough, he's a lawyer. As if that was not enough in the first place, he has been best speaker in this tournament, the only person to be best speaker twice in the NDC championship since inception in 2009. Abbas Luyombo is outstanding. He's a world debater and he has represented Uganda on World Debate Championship, and he has done exceedingly well. And he is an incredible debater as he is a trainer. Please put your hands together for Abbas Luyombo. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, I also happened to be there. And for those of you who do not know me, by now you must be very few. I say my name a lot. My name is Sarah Kenyana Risoke. And other than being the chief adjudicator of this tournament, I have not had any bigger honors than that. But I'm very honored to be here. And I've been here long enough, which makes me the chair of this panel, even though I'm really surrounded by greater minds. I cannot wait to see what these young minds have to do, and I cannot wait for you to experience just how much brilliance and just how much intelligence we've had throughout this particular competition. Debaters, I wish you the very best. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how your timing is going to run. We have 4.5 minutes for every speaker, 1 minute of prep time per team, and we also have 2 minutes of cross-examination. We wish you the very best. Titus Ngabirano is going to help in timing, so focus on his hand signals as you do your subsequent speeches. Other than that, allow me invite the first speaker to take the floor. Here. Read the motion again when you get on the pulpit so that we can be able to follow through.
Hi everyone. The timing will be, alright, 4 minutes. When you're left with 1 minute, I'll raise my finger to 94.5. When you're left with 1 minute, I'll raise my finger to notify you that you're left with 1 minute, and when your time is done, I'll hit the table repeatedly to inform you of your time. Is it clear? Beautiful.
Should I first read the motion? In a bid to enhance transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption, this House supports the rise of social media activism. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Given the fact that it's once in a long time that you are on national television, allow me to just greet you all, greet everyone who is watching. Special shout outs to my coaches, James, Peter, Paul, my teammates, and yeah, my family, everyone who is watching, and yeah. So it may not come back again, so I would like to do that. So I'll be beginning my speech in 3, 2, I'll begin my speech in 3, 2, 1, go. Affirmative today in this case has 3 things. We're going to show you 3 things in our burden. 1, when we have the rise of social media activism, do more people engage in key issues concerning TAAC? 2, is it important for more people to actually engage in critical issues concerning TAC? But C, do we get change in governments and improve TAC with this kind of rise in social media activism? If Team Affirmative fulfills those 3 main things, then we believe that we have won this debate. But who is a social media activist? Not 2 things in today's debate. 1, there's a difference between a social media activist and a social media user. They may come and clarify, but one thing you should know is that a social media activist is someone who is knowledgeable, someone who is well-known, an individual who is trusted, and that's what they are saying is actually correct. Someone who actually has a perspective point of view, someone who is not just a user and someone who is actually an activist. But what is the role of an activist? 1, he gives awareness to people on key issues concerning social media, key issues, especially in this debate concerning tax. 2, creates hashtags at time which actually disseminate into the society and actually are used to incentivize change. But 3, encourages other people to actually get more involved in such processes. So that's what an activist looks like. What does social media activism looks like in and of itself? It looks like use of social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook to advocate or present a certain issue. In this case, it can be criticizing government for certain issues or advocating for certain issues such as a change in government or a change in policy. We should know 2 things about social media. 1, it is highly popularized among youth and workers, but also we should know that government officials and government bodies also engage heavily in social media in status quo today. But secondly, it's used as a platform to discuss critical issues, not only fronting issues, but discussion of issues. But what does the rise of social media activism look like? It looks like the increased use of social media activism by so many people, increased number of activists coming forward to discuss critical issues in order to effect change, but it also looks like more citizens becoming engaged in the process of social media or engaged in the process of solving the issue of tax, solving the issue of corruption. 3 problems that come about, or 1 main problem in a whole: low levels of accountability, transparency, and high levels of corruption. Why? 2 reasons that are going to resonate in affirmative case: because of the high levels of unawareness in scandals and such things that affect government, because not everyone is on social media and not everyone is aware of such issues. But 2, there is lack of public engagement in critical issues. Physical engagement, let's note one thing, is quite difficult, but also social media engagement in current status quo is small because there are few activists or few people who are enthusiastic about change. Thus, we say that there's need for more enhanced tack on our side. 3 arguments we're going to raise. 1, increased engagement in key issues that affect government. 2, and this is going to be talked about by Ian, how there's going to be increased government action, but also how it infringes on people's freedom of expression. And that's going to be our principal argument, and we take whatever I say as their very best case. 2 analyses. 1, how it gives avenue from the minority group, but 2, how also because of the number of youth that are in society, it actually enhances change. First thing about how it gives avenue to minorities. We should note three types of people. One, those ones who have voices and do not actually have the courage to actually come up in physical nature and actually support the government. Two, how there are people who have political reasons who actually not coming out physically into government and thus have to use social media platforms to actually advocate for change. And three, those ones who do not have access to physical interaction to demand for accountability. At that point in time, we will believe that increase or the rise in social media activism will increase the number of people who are engaging, especially in this key category. But second thing we must acknowledge is that the number of youth in social media is rising. What does this mean? It means at a point in time when we encourage this kind of activism, it means that more people are engaging and more people are actually coming up. What is the importance of increased engagement? Governments receive more pressure and more backlash because of their more active participation. But why is change enforced? Because that's the main thing we have to ask. Change requires buy-in, that's a fact. Change, to enforce change, it requires buy-in. And social media has a high number of people. At that point in time, it means that you're more likely to get buy-in and more likely to actually support this kind of incentive or this kind of issue which anyone is fronting. At that point in time, it means that more governments are more incentivized to change. Compared to a world where in status quo, change is limited, and that's something that may come up in their case. Change is limited. Why? Because there are few people who are engaging in these spaces and few people who are coming up to actually advocate for change. One tweet cannot change much, or two tweets, but 1,000 tweets can actually disseminate the information in order to change beliefs and create a space for actually change to happen in the future. The impacts which Ian is going to talk about in my second case is how government becomes more accountable, transparent, and how it helps in the fight to corruption. But I'd like to say that this should be.
Ready for cross-examination. So, I'll begin now. So first of all, does the social media activism currently exist?
Yes.
So, what is the basic relevance of this activism?
To create awareness, but also try to enforce change, which is not happening because of the small numbers.
Does the activism create awareness?
The activism does create awareness because
so
of the large social media users.
Basically, when you achieve awareness, you're going to achieve change.
When we achieve awareness, what we are saying is with the rise, with more awareness, it means that you're getting a bigger buy-in, and it's what Ian is going to talk about. And with that bigger buy-in, it means you're more enticed to actually force for change.
So basically, if side negative comes and shows you they are creating awareness, we are also creating change, right?
You cannot create more awareness than with social media, because social media is more
effective
effective than that kind of physical awareness.
To the judges, we will win the debate.
With that, no. Because we are trying to show you that with we create more awareness.
That's okay. I appreciate it. If we so according to the Kampala Cultural Exhibition, the hashtag, what did the people want in the first place?
I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware of that? Okay, that's okay. So does change enforce stack, or does stack enforce change? Does change enforce stack, or does stack enforce change?
The change in government, the change is that into better tack. Change is better tack.
So change is better tack. So change and tack are the same thing.
Yes, the change in government is change in terms of promoting transparency, accountability, and
so basically the change is creating tack.
That's what we are saying. Change is that better tack.
Okay, so do you function better when you're under pressure?
Pardon?
Do you function better when
you're more incentivized to do better?
Okay, you're incentivized. So does putting me under pressure provide me with the capability?
Putting me under pressure because of the image that you're going to create.
But doesn't provide capability, right? Thank you.
So first, I would like to highly appreciate everyone who has helped us reach this far. Our first NDC ever as Kawempe Muslim Secondary School, and we hope to make everyone proud. So my speech begins at C. A, B, C. Jury, just because the roads in Kampala have potholes, they are collecting water, it doesn't necessarily mean we should adopt to using boats on these roads. One thing you should understand from the context that the info slide gives us, it gives us the context that people are adapting to asking for change and accountability from their leaders through social media. One thing they didn't explain. Now, how does social media activism happen in the first place? They come and lie about how social media activism happens, that only people who give valid reasons participate in the social media activism. But they don't justify that, because we already see how social media activism happens in status quo. How does it happen in the first place? We see that people present their views, even the most useless of all. They present all their views. One thing that we know how people use social media is to abuse the leaders. And we see in social media activism, we only criticize the government, right? We don't see any incentive given to the government. We only tarnish the government. We only rubbish the government. We only show that the government is doing nothing. Now, what we are going to show you is the relevancy, is that social media activism basically has no relevancy in this case. Why do we support something in the first place? We support something if at all it benefits the stakeholders. Now, let's look at statistics. According to the Uganda Bureau of Standards, Uganda has a poverty rate of 63%. Now they advocate for social media activism, right? Where we need to have people having phones. Now if at all people are poor, which means they cannot buy the phones, because we have people in the country who cannot afford the daily bread. So how can they have the phones in the first place? Even when we take them at their best case scenario, where people have phones, it's actually not accountable or sustainable because they cannot buy data. If at all I cannot buy data, since even the rise of data is increasing, basically I cannot present my view in the first place. Now we asked them about the hashtag Kampala Football Exhibition. They are not informed. We are glad to inform them. What the people wanted in the first place is the better roads. What did they get? They made a lot of noise, abused government, but they didn't get the better roads in the first place, right? They tell us that pressure is actually going to make government provide the better roads. But if at all you pressurize government, it's only going to want to provide a solution that is sustaining only for that time, right? So basically the solution government provided are not the better roads. It only filled the potholes. So basically we shall have the potholes after a time in the first place. So basically on their side, we only see short-term benefits, and on our side, we are going to have long-term benefits. What do we believe is better on our side? We are not implementing policy, but we believe it is actually better for us to have a stakeholder dialogue. Now notice they might come from their side of the house and tell us that the stakeholders dialogues do exist in the first place. But look at the stakeholders dialogues that exist in status quo. These are dialogues which are influenced by politics, where one side that is affirming something comes and rubbishes the other side. This is not what we are advocating for. We are advocating for a mutual engagement by the people affected and the policy members, right? Because if at all we give people to engage more with their leaders, they can actually give them better ideas than abusing them for them to provide the services in the first place. Now they will come and tell us that physical engagement is difficult and coming in physical nature is impossible. Now, if at all you want to represent a view and you feel like coming in physical nature is actually impossible, you can send a representative. We are only caring about your view, right? So basically, if at all I don't have a phone and I can't access data, I can't present my view. But basically, if at all I can't come in person, I can send a representative and my view can still be heard. What do we get from their side? We're going to the end of the day, right? They're only going to post. We are not going to see any change in the first place. Because I give you an example of the Kampala Portal Exhibition. There was no change. Government only found a solution to silence the people. So basically, if you're trashing government, it will want to silence you. If we look at social media, we see government has very many ways of silencing people through social media. When we saw that government wanted to silence people through social media, it banned Facebook in the elections, right? So basically, if you want to silence them, the social media platforms can be silenced. Iris, my case.
All right. I'll start my cross-examination in 3, 2, 1. First and foremost, how many people can engage in stakeholder engagement as you model from your side?
How many people can engage?
In stakeholder engagement.
Stakeholders. The people that are affected, not stakeholders. Please get me
How
right.
many people can be there?
As long as you are a stakeholder, you can be there.
Okay. You say that from your side, people have representatives. Didn't we have potholes in Kampala and we still have representatives?
What we are supporting does not exist in status quo, but what you're supporting exists and we still had the potholes in the first place.
From our context, From our context,
Yes.
what do you understand between the difference of a social media user and a social media active?
Well, you presented us fallacies because we see how people use social media to ask for change. We see that they abuse the leaders and all of that. What you presented is not what is happening in status quo, but we see social media activism is happening in status quo. So basically what you're presenting are fallacies.
How are you going to carry out stakeholder engagement?
This is a value resolution. We are showing you the importance of carrying out the stakeholders engagement.
Do you believe to strengthen TAAC, we need more citizen engagement?
That's why we are calling out the people to come and out their voices, not work in the dark, not working behind the scenes. Come and out your voice.
Okay, do you believe that in order to get the maximum freedom, in order to get maximum transparency, we need a freedom of speech?
Thank you very much. You need a freedom of speech, not where you go on social media and be behind curtains. Come and speak out your voice.
So you agree with the fact, that means you agree with the fact that our side tends to have a more platform that will provide a freedom of speech.
On your side, people misuse that. Time is up.
Okay, so I hope I'm audible enough. Shout out to the beautiful lady at the panel and all the handsome men. So I'll be beginning my speech in 3, 2, 1, go. Panel, first and foremost, understand that we define a social media activist as someone who has an informed perception about something that in and of itself, it nullifies whatever they are trying to say, like maybe bringing a lot of confusion within the people, because we believe that these are activists who actually have an informed perception, and that is to say whatever they give out to the public is from an informed point of view and aimed at promoting the betterment for society. You're inherently going to get 3 things from my speech. First and foremost, I'm starting with rebuttal. Second is substantive matter, and lastly, the comparative analysis, and showing you how we actually better achieve that from our side of the house. What do you get from their side of the house, right? They tell us that social media activism has no use, right? Because they believe that people are just going to be there criticizing the government. But we tell them that this is wrong. Why? Because the government inherently has an incentive to keep its image good. That in and of itself means that if you go on the social media and say that you have bad roads, the government is going to be more incentivized to act faster and try to solve this particular problem. That in and of itself shows you that social media activism is something that is more efficient from our side of the house. What other thing do you actually get from their side of the house? They are trying to suggest the stakeholder dialogues. First and foremost, this is something that has already existed in the status quo. We see people from political authorities come and conduct dialogues with their people who have been affected by particular calamities. But what is the result of this? First and foremost, there is delay in action of what should actually be done. So at that particular point in time, people don't get urgency for solvency of particular issues that affect society, right? But also secondly, these are the leaders who are already corrupt. So what use is you sending a particular leader who is already corrupt to go and conduct a dialogue? The result of that is that this particular person gets the money and is still going to embezzle it. Why? Because there is no public notice. And that is something that you inherently are going to get from our side of the house, right? They also tell us about accessibility. But don't understand one thing. Just because you cannot afford a phone doesn't make social media activism bad. That is something that inherently they do not understand from their side of the house, right? And again, they talked about government just filling potholes from the hashtag that was just recently shown, right? So at that particular point in time, they also realized that from that hashtag, government acted with urgency. The result of filling these particular potholes is that we had the roads in a better condition than before, right? That is in comparative from their side of the house, where people actually came, where the political leaders can come and have dialogues and tell you are going to actually fill these
potholes. At the end of the day, it is not done. They are trying to suggest a solution that has already existed in the status quo and has not done anything of efficiency to the people and to the whole country at large, right? Even in the cross-examination review, right, we actually asked them if everyone needs a fundamental freedom of speech and expression. They said yes, but then they now come and tell us how everyone in this particular country is going to exercise it in a better way from their side of the house than in our side of the house. What inherently do you get from our side of the house? In a place where we find that there are these social media activists, what happens? You find someone posting a tweet, and this tweet can be reacted by over 45 million people in a particular country like Uganda. But from their side of the house, we realize that this particular freedom of speech is going to be exercised by only like 10 people whom they believe are affected. But yet, even in the long run, everyone is going to be affected. Because if there are poor roads in Kampala, that means that even people from Mumbara who are coming to carry out trade are going to be affected. And that is why we also say that the people from Mumbara should have a say. This is something that inherently exists from social media activism, right? What inherently do you get from our side of the house? Three things. First and foremost, we tell you how we get better engagement, and we also tell you this pragmatic argument of how it incentivizes government action. And lastly, and this is the argument that inherently takes them at their very best, is that at the end of the day, they are going to infringe on people's fundamental freedom to expression, right? Inherently, how do they infringe on people's fundamental right to expression? We tell you that people actually have a right to expression, to air out their views, and this is something that is going to be better than in our side of the house than in their side of the house, right? We also tell you that according to Article 19, it says that nothing should actually impinge on how someone should express themselves, and except if there is a state of national emergency. So at that particular point in time, realize that from their side of the house, they are doing something that is unjustifiable and shouldn't be accepted in today's particular debate, right? Why is this inherently bad? At the end of the day, when you infringe on someone's freedom of participation, it then means that they cannot air out their views, for one, to demand for accountability, but secondly, their participation is also limited, and at the end of the day, it enhances corruption. Those are the impacts that you're actually going to be getting from their side of the house. And with that, I rest my case. Thank you.
I'm ready for the cross-examination. So my cross-examination time begins at C. A, B, C. Is activism supposed to create change?
We tell you that the activism...
yes or no? Is activism supposed to
activism is supposed to create positive change.
Thank you very much. Does the pressure create the capability?
We tell you pressure inherently accelerates the response to this particular issue. Thank you.
Does it create the capability?
It accelerates the response to this particular issue.
It does not create the capability. Good. Can you work best under pressure? Can you work best under pressure?
We think that when you're told about a particular problem and it has been reacted over by very many people,
under
then
pressure?
it incentivizes you to come and act better.
So you can't work best under pressure since you never answered. Okay. How will you carry out the activism if you don't have a phone?
Inherently, we tell you that you not having a phone doesn't make it bad. I don't understand.
We didn't say it's bad, but it won't be carried out because the person doesn't have the phone in the first place. You don't get that.
There has been advancement of technology and more people in Uganda.
Do we need to exercise the freedom of speech?
The freedom of speech needs to be exercised in a more efficient way.
Define speech. Define speech.
You think that speech is the ability of you to express your views?
Define speech.
It is the ability of you to express your views.
Don't worry, we shall take you at your best.
I begin my debate speech at C. A, B, C. You understand that only 18.2 million people use social media, you actually access the internet. In this house they're actually advocating for. So we see that in their house, over the 18.2 million that use the social media are actually taken below to the people who are activists, as they try to say, people who are informed about the perception, which is limiting the involvement of the people in this case. But still, let us take them at their best. We start with rebuttal. So they come and tell us that social media is the better platform. We come and tell you that if someone doesn't have a phone, that someone can't access the internet, which means that person can't access social media, hence not giving their ideas, hence activism is not done. But I come and tell you that through stakeholders dialogue, we're actually going to see that we are actually advocating for right of the freedom of speech, which they are not advocating for in the side of the house. But still, we take them at their best. They come and tell us, we come and show them that we come and tell the relevancy of social media in this debate. Social media is something that can be turned on and off whenever they want. So if I put someone on pressure because of something, they are going to, why are you putting me on pressure? And they are going to actually disable that something. We have seen that currently happening in status quo. They have talked nothing about that. So we are still taking them at their best. We come and tell them that in this house, we are actually preventing the government, we are actually giving government empowerment. How are we giving government empowerment in the first place? We're empowering the government to actually do something because we are giving them ideas to do something. We see that activism in status quo is just criticizing, not giving ideas. So if I criticize you for something, you are not giving me what to do, you are just criticizing me. We are giving the government ideas, it's giving it empowerment, which they don't see on their side of the house. They are debating status quo in this case, where we are actually giving you something that is different from status quo and something that is solving tasks. We ask them a question about if activism does actually if activism actually gives accountability to them, then they tell us that it's actually accelerating the response. But still they haven't answered the question, and we still take them at their best. If someone is put under pressure, do they actually do something to their full capability? They don't fail to answer that. But let us take them at their best and tell them, they give us accelerating response. Yes, we understand an accelerating response. Have you done it to your capability? Have you actually achieved what the people want? Have we achieved the services that people want? They still don't take us as best. We actually, so to end with the comparative analysis, to compare a world whereby they are actually advocating for status quo, which is currently bad, and we are advocating for something different from status quo. We're actually going to see that in our world, we are going to give government empowerment. Government is actually going to get ideas about what to do in this debate. And in their case, government is only going to be criticized. And we are not advocating for something that shows me the bad. I'm actually going to advocate for something that shows me the good and the bad. That's the difference we have from their case. We tell them that we are going to see appreciation. Have people giving government the good, people actually acknowledging government for the good things they are doing is something more that the government will need, except being criticized on what they are actually saying in this debate. We tell them that this stakeholders dialogue is actually going to emphasize freedom of speech. If I have an idea I want to present, I'm going to have to speak to this current person to actually present out my idea and tell them what it is. We ask them if activism creates awareness. They fail to answer that. But let us take them at their best and we tell them activism creates awareness, and actually it doesn't create a solution. They are telling us activism on their side of the house creates a solution, but on our side of the house, activism creates ideas, it creates awareness. That is what's different from their side of the house. They come and tell us that what is a social media activist in this debate, and this is actually a very big issue that I fail to understand, that social media is actually, in status quo, is used by everyone. Everyone has the right to social media, not only the social media activists. We are saying that due to the hashtag Kampala Portal exhibition, we have been seeing that everyone has been allowed to give out their view, be it the social media activist and the social media user. So, in a bid to enforce, to deepen TAC, this house supports the rise of social. This house doesn't support the rise of social media activism.
Speaker, I will begin my in three, 2, 1. So, Speaker, do you not support the rise in social media activism or activism in its entirety?
Advocate for activism, but a different activism that is not related to social media.
So you don't support social media activism in its entirety?
Support social media activism.
Isn't there misused freedom of speech on your side in status quo in form of riots and demonstrations?
We have actually showed that that is calm because the stakeholders dialogue that has been there has been politically first, but if you give them a more neutral engagement with the leaders and the victims, you're actually going to see that.
So in current Uganda, is it efficient?
Going to be
so in current Uganda, is it feasible that you can say that it can be neutral?
It can be neutral. I'm not here to show you how. I'm here to show you why it is important.
Doesn't government easily suppress any kind of demonstration towards it, or any time when you try to oppose
That's why I've told you it is based on politics. We are giving them a more neutral engagement.
Because a person cannot afford a phone, does it make this activism bad in and of itself?
We haven't said your activism is bad. We have said if someone doesn't have a phone, they can't actually carry out the activism. We have not necessarily said it is bad. They can't carry it out.
How does stakeholder engagement prevent someone from criticizing government?
They are criticizing them and telling them about what to do, not actually only criticizing. They are criticizing and then giving the ideas.
How does stakeholder engagement promote maximum participation? Not that you already said 18 million people are on Twitter, but
I've not said on Twitter.
On social media.
I've said access internet.
But a smaller number participate in Ugandan elections.
Yes?
A smaller number participate in Ugandan elections.
We are not advocating for elections.
But that's representation.
You fail to understand that you are not advocating for elections. You are advocating for engagement. Engagement and elections are different.
Do you believe humans need a push factor in order to do things better?
Yes.
Do you believe humans need a push factor in order to do things better?
Yes.
Do you believe...
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Hello? Hello? Hi. I don't know why we are making a lot of noise. We are in actually the most vibrant part of the day.
apologize to the student. I have been informed that he'll be okay. And since he's no longer debating, it's okay for him to move aside and have the necessary treatment he deserves. But as of now, allow me to welcome the last speaker. So yes, the last speaker of the affirmative side.
I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Chair, while one tweet cannot do much in changing perception and forcing transparency, accountability, and anti-corruptions, thousands of tweets can push for change in order to promote proper accountability within the realms of today's debate. 3 clashes happen within the realms of today's debate. The first clash is the clash of the increase in engagement. The second clash is the clash of the freedom of expression. And the third clash is the clash of which side actually achieves better tag from their side of the house. We inherently, through our inherent cross-examination, what do we ask the precurrent speaker? He necessarily, within the precurrent speech, we necessarily ask him that is his form of stakeholder engagement a politically based? He agrees. Now, inherently, if it is politically based, that clearly means that you cannot clearly express your views to a person who comes from government. If you have views against government, it is hard to express your views against government if this particular person comes from that inherent government. But we again inherently ask him a question that does he agree that humans need a push factor? He says yes. That clearly means that the government in and itself needs a push factor for it to incentivize on the way that it has to work on the agencies in society. What do we inherently get from their side? They inherently tell us through their model that they want to send representatives to people. We engage with this in 2 ways. We tell you that 1, these people are likely to be corrupt, meaning at the end of the day, the different agencies they're supposed to address may not be addressed. But second and foremost, these people will be from government, and as he said, and if these people are from government, if you have views against the government, in and themselves, you're not going to air them out because you have fear for your life, something that they do not engage with within the realm of today's debate. They necessarily tell us that, hey, 18.2 million people actually engage within social media. We inherently tell them that, yes, we agree that 18.2 million are in social media, but we tell them that even less of those people actually are in Ugandan politics, meaning at the end of the day, we actually see a better form of representation from our side of the house, meaning at the end of the day, more people get to have a say in whatever government does within the realms of today's debate. And they necessarily tell us that government can silence people when it is on pressure. We tell you that this is clearly impractical for one reason. Government will fear backlash, and that clearly means that if high levels of backlash happen to the government, it is going to feel uncomfortable. That means at the end of the day, it would not want those high levels of backlash. So that is clearly impractical. Then they necessarily tell us that if we actually put these different people on pressure, there is high chances that these people are likely to make short-time factors. But when we put this in comparative, their side does not actually offer any solutions, because the current status quo is that representatives are already in place, but there are still potholes in Kampala. As compared to our side, where at least we are filling the potholes, meaning at the end of the day, even though we might offer a short-time solution, we actually have a solution. And even after this solution goes out of play, we can create another hashtag that will put back this solution in place. Meaning at the end of the day, we're actually creating a better world from our side of the house. What was our main burden within our side of the house? We were to relate this whole debate on how we actually achieve transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption. From all 3 arguments we actually present, we show you that when we increase the engagement of people we actually create high levels of participation, and when we actually bring the freedom of expression, people can actually express themselves and hold government accountable. And lastly, it will increase the government accountability, government action, meaning government will start creating high levels of accountability and transparency. As I conclude, I'm going to do a little bit of comparative. When you take the case by the case, what it inherently gives you is one thing. They actually believe that we should eradicate this, and they'll actually have high levels of anti-corruption when they bring engagement. But as compared to our side, we inherently tell you that when more people participate, there will be more accountability, transparency, and anti-corruption. With this chair, I would like to rest my case.
A request for all that remains. Hello. Okay. Hello to everyone and who has been following the debate as it has transpired. So basically, I'll begin my speech at C. A, B, C. So panel, this debate comes down to who achieves change faster, better, in a more sustainable way, and on a larger scale. Basically, I'm only going to do two things in my speech. The first thing, I'll talk about some of the irrelevant things they mentioned on their side of the house. And number two, I'll be handling the points of clash. He mentioned 3, I'll mention 6. So number 1, from the mighty third speaker, he talked about politically based engagements that are already in the parliament, and people are not going to actually hear out their voices are not actually going to be heard. But we are creating a more neutral ground, right? Basically, we are going to create a parliament that doesn't have opposition or affirmative. Basically, people are going to just be there when they are neutral. Basically, everyone's points are going to be heard in the process. They're talking about a push factor. Basically, the push factor can also be appreciation. It doesn't really need to be criticism in the first place. Because if I told you appreciate me, it can also become a push factor. So the push factor they are presenting on that side of the house doesn't really have to be considered in this side of the house. He also talks about fear for their life in parliament. How can you be afraid of your life in parliament? How can you really be afraid of your life in parliament? They're actually creating a government that doesn't have security in the first place. Because if you're talking in parliament, there's no fear. Because everyone is protected in parliament and their voices are considered. They're talking about more people engaging, right? You understand, the people don't have phones. If someone doesn't have a phone, they will not be able to engage on their side of the house. But outside of the house, they will be able to tell the representative. That means even the people who don't have phones will be engaged in this so-called resolution. They tell us we don't have they tell us that we have no solution on that side of the house. But understand the status quo is presenting to you a politically based engagement. But we are providing a neutral based engagement. This is change in status quo, so they do not start. From second speaker, the only thing he tells us is that people in Barara are going to be engaged. But the people in Barara also have representatives. And basically, if we create a more neutral engagement, the representatives in Barara will be considered, right? So the first speaker only talks about the marginalized. But understand that the blind are also marginalized. How are they going to access social media if they are blind? How are they going to access them? Those marginalized are also not considered. He also talks about the platform of discussion. But understand that social media is not controllable by government. The only way social media can be controlled by government is by shutting it down. So basically, if we are to discuss things on the internet, people are going to even abuse you and you're not going to control what they say. So basically, let me come to the point of clash. Point of clash number 1. Relevancy. The outside of the house doesn't really provide the government with the empowerment, so it doesn't really prove to be relevant. But outside of the house really shows government what they need to do in the first place. We are presenting ideas, they are presenting criticism. So basically it's not relevant because it doesn't give government empowerment. Effectiveness. We are going to be demoralizing the MPs. Basically, if you don't appreciate me in the first place, you're going to demoralize me instead of empowering me. So at that point you understand that these guys are going to lose their morale and they're going to say you're never going to change, we're never going to be appreciated. Because these guys who are carrying out this so-called activism only look at the bad side of government. So, number 3, understand that our side of government doesn't really tarnish the government name. If I don't tarnish the government name, the government will want to silence you. And if I don't going to silence you, the side of the house is not refundable because government has the capability to silence you. So it is not effective. Number 3 is implementability. We are not going to be able to control the people who are going to be engaged in this way. I understand an activism has followers, and these followers are going to present their views, so they are going to be involved. Even if the definition of an activism is an activist is different from the definition of a user, it's basically going to be engagement, because you're going to follow me, and I'm going to show you what is happening, and you're going to present your views, however bad they are going to be. Even if it's false information, these people also have the right to present their views. So basically, the activist is not the only one who are going to consider this image, because the government is going to get information from even the users who are going to provide wrong information. Number 4, sociability. We are going to lose trust in our government. Basically, if I told the people in Iganga are going to know about the bad things that are happening in Kampala, we are going to see that the people in Iganga are also going to see that the government is a very, very bad government, and it has failed to do what it's supposed to do. But if I told we present a Kampala as a body, and the representatives are going to take the representation to the government, they're going to see that the tarnishing of the name of the government is not going to be bad, right? So basically, if I told the government, it's going to show that the government is not really engaging. Urgency. Basically, look at the hashtag that was there, the pothole exhibition. People wanted the potholes to be covered up. The potholes were covered up, and they're going to even come back because the problem is really the poor roads, not the potholes. But people were presenting potholes, so government did not really know what was happening. But if I thought we had to present the idea, people are going to tell government that the problem is not the potholes, it's the poor roads, and that's why the house doesn't show us how that is going to be happening. Let me also continue about urgency. This just understand that the cause of the problem is not handled. This is why the ones who use the roads, they know what happens to what creates the potholes. If I know you're not engaging them, if I know they're only tarnishing the name, and they don't tell the government why the potholes are created, the government will just say, oh, maybe the potholes are created because the potholes are there. So let's cover the potholes. So basically, yeah, to deepen talk, we should not just talk, we should walk the talk. Thank you.
Teams, please cross over and share pleasantries. Teams, share pleasantries. Ladies and gentlemen, please give this handsome gentleman a round of applause, a thunderous round of applause. I have participated in a lot of finals, but I must commend them for their consistency, their energy, their analysis, their intelligence, and overall they gave us a splendid final. And regardless of what happens, we had 2 great teams in the final of NSDC 2023. We will take our leave as we go to deliberate, and will then hand over to the beautiful lady MC to take on us from here. Thank you.
To the debaters, how was the debate? How did you feel it?
It was a fair one.
No, but what were the emotions and feelings you got during the debate? How did you feel about the entire debate?
These guys are a very strong team. They have the audience, they have everything that they need, right? Basically, we were scared, but after their first speech, we understood that we can engage, and they are really human.
And how did you feel? It was the question.
Felt better and more confident.
All right, that is good. And then to this team, how did you feel? Just say, why are you running? What if I don't run? Okay.
All right, so I think from our team, we feel like the debate was a really nice one. Yeah, it was a very good one. Nice engagements. Yeah, that's it.
How did you feel about it? Okay, about your team. How did you feel
Okay,
as a team?
I feel generally we did better. Yeah.
That's good. And then how did the entire house feel?
The thing is, he feels.
All right, thank you. Thank you. How did the entire house feel about the debate? It was very good. Was it worth a final debate? Wow, you guys, well done. A round of applause for this team. They really did a wonderful and amazing job. Let me even not speak anything. I'm just still, remembering what happened. There's a lot of fire here, an exchange of ideas. Let's wait for the judges to deliberate. Right about now, I'm going to welcome Right about now, we're going to welcome Mr. Gasta Kakede to speak to us and welcome the chief guest.
This is when I come with good news. Thank you everybody for being around this long. The last bit of this event is awards. We have quite a number of them, but we're going to award some at the dinner because we are running really out of time. We have actually run out of time. We thank God that our third speaker here is okay. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. We pray that he'll be fine. Before we get into the awards, and because of the excitement the awards come with, I'm going to invite our chief guest to come and make remarks. He'll resume his seat, and then we'll do the awards, and we call him back to make the main awards. And those are the awards of the winners in the junior debate and the senior debate. We also have a pack for each of you, for each of the schools, courtesy of Parliament and the Office of the Auditor General and the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. There are diaries in there. Those diaries are for your head teachers. So we are going to give the pack to the teachers, and we request you to kindly donate the diary to the head teacher. There are other things that you can stay with, but the diary, we request that you give it to the head teacher, or the director, or somebody who sponsored you here. It will be good, so you have something to take back to them as well. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity, before I invite the chief guest. I think there is a reason why I am not John the Baptist, but Gasta. I have no idea where the names I used to introduce Mr. Ocho came from. I just have no idea where the names came from. So I'd like to apologize to you, my big brother Israel, for baptizing you wrongly. Mr. Israel Ocho, the Deputy of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. Now it's my pleasure to invite our Chief Guest, the Executive Director of the Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets, Mr. Besson Turami. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Gasta Takaile. When you come, when you are expected to give a presentation, and and when you reach and you become a chief guest, then you know that these are blessings from the God. So I can't take it for granted. I'm happy to be your chief guest this evening. I was supposed, and I prepared, speak about using technology to promote transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption. So I'm wondering whether this presentation is still relevant, but I try to relate being in this high position to what the topics or what the debate was all about. I see many people have left, so I will try to be as brief as possible. The Executive Director, NDC, Mr. Kakaire, the representative of the Anti-Corruption State House Anti-Corruption Unit, Israel, the representative of GIZ, the head teachers present, the government officials present, members of NDC, our judges and our finalists from Kisubi and Kawempe Museum, students and parents present, ladies and gentlemen. As I was introduced, I work with PPDA. And I think it is important that when I'm given an opportunity, I talk about PPDA. As one of the agencies that was established by government to fight corruption in public procurement. What is public procurement? When we talk about public procurement, we are essentially talking about public works, public goods like medicines, like agricultural inputs, like road equipment, public works like roads, like buildings, like bridges, like irrigation schemes, water dams, those are public works. And public supply services, like security services, catering services, all these are public procurement. So when you see these are delivered in your localities, first of all, understand that the money that is spent is your money. I can see students are already tired. I'm not sure whether you listen to what I am talking about, but I want to beg that you give me 5 minutes so that you understand what public procurement is all about. And when you are using public resources to execute these works or services or goods, these are your taxes. Even you children, you are paying taxes. When you consume sugar or a soda or a sweet, in a way you have paid the tax. And this money comes back to provide service to you in form of public procurement. So if the hospital in your area is not well constructed, a school is not well constructed, a road is shoddily done, you as the owner of resources, you should demand for accountability. Demand accountability from office bearers. You have a chief administrative officer, you have a headmistress, a headmaster of a school, you have a sub-county chief, you have a permanent secretary in a ministry, in any ministry. When this service is not properly delivered to your consumption, please know that the money that has been spent on this service is your money, so demand for accountability. I want to, it's my great pleasure that I was invited to this grand finale of the National Speech and Debate Championship, and I want to thank the National Debate Council for your efforts to nurture the young people in the schools so that we inculcate the transparency and accountability at a young age. I want to commend you because this is the starting point. If the young don't have this inbuilt in them, then the future may be a problem. What have we done as PPDA? At PPDA, in terms of technology, we have done 3 things in the fight. One, it is to ensure that the procurement system, the procurement processes are automated. And when things are automated, it will be difficult to interfere, to remove documents, to tamper with documents in the bidding process. The second thing is to have what we call open contracting. Open contracting is availing information, availing access to information. Anybody can access our information on our PPDA portal, so that you know which contracts are done where, what values, and what are they going to deliver. And in that form, you can use that information as a citizen to demand for accountability. The third area is to partner with the civil society organizations so that over there in Kawale, in Bundubujo, in Karamoja, in Nitsoro, in Kotido, these civil society organizations are our eyes and ears on the ground because they are out there. They have village monitors who will monitor these government projects that are being implemented on your behalf. And this is the final debate that I was talking about, the social media. How do we use it? We all have smartphones. So these civil society organizations give us real-time reporting. If there is a building collapsing, if there is a bridge collapsing, if there is shoulder work, if they have delivered goats, and these goats, they are cows, but the cows look like goats, then you can real time take this picture and share it on social media, share it with anti-corruption agencies, so that there is real time response. So this partnership of civil society organizations is very critical. We are using a platform called Contract Monitoring System, and we need you to embrace that. Report to your civil society organization in your areas, and then we can get feedback, formal feedback from these areas. Lastly, of course, is collaboration with civil society organizations, collaboration with anti-corruption agencies. The ones you see, IG, Office of the Auditor General, the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, and the rest. So we have this collaboration. You have heard about syndicated corruption, where people sit, generate files, even pay for air. Where this happens, then we can go in as also syndicated anti-corruption agencies. Get referrals where we need to do procurement, IG refers the matter to us. Where we need to do forensic audits, like what Auditor General was talking about, we collaborate in that fight. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say the responsibility to fight corruption is for every citizen, is for all of us, including the young and the old. And it starts with you, it starts with me. In our homes and in our schools. Someone was talking about influencing, I think it was the young debaters, influencing the voting in schools. So if you are giving these sweets and you are accepting the sweets, then you are engaged in corruption. Because corruption takes two. You can't say, me, they have given me. You have received, it is illegal. Both of you are culpable. And that is why it is becoming difficult. Because even the one who has received is not willing to go and testify that I have received, because he will be taken on legally. So, I want to appeal to everybody here and encourage ourselves that we should build ethics and integrity at a very young age by not offering incentives or gifts to be voted for leadership at schools, and do not pay money to get good grades. I've even seen parents who want to pay teachers for good grades. So if I am your child and you have paid, then I know that is the norm. So if your parent is going to pay for good grades, say no to corruption. That is corruption. That is a form of corruption. We want to urge you as anti-corruption agencies to be our ambassadors. Even at household level, by taking your parents on, even talking to your parents about what you have had when you go back to your home, that corruption is cancer, is cancerous. Ask for accountability from your parents. You are living a luxurious life. You are living beyond your means. You are flying. You are taking out. Where are you getting them? How much are you getting? How much is your salary? So demand for accountability even in our homes. Let's deny those people we think are corrupt recognition. If you go to churches, they are given front seats. If you go to functions, because he has come, he's someone's son, he has come in a V8, he has been working for 5 years, and is glorified, and is given the front seats. Let's use these gadgets that we have to expose the corrupt. Let's do a shame drive. Let's shame the corrupt. I want to again, if I get out of the citizens and go to the public officials, us who are in big offices with big responsibilities, parliamentarians, judicial officials, executive, civil servants, if we don't provide right services to our citizens, right education, right health services, right infrastructure, the citizens are going to rise up and turn against us. The reason you see people are in these huge houses, they put a fence. After putting a fence, they put a razor wire. Even after putting a razor wire, they put electricity in the wires. They put a security guard. They put even dogs. We are not safe because citizens are not happy. And time will come when they will rise and demand for accountability, demand for their rights, and it is now that we fight the device and provide right services to our citizens. And I tell you, this starts with all of us. I want to conclude by appreciating NCDC for arranging this Kakande, keep it up. I was here in 2019. I'm back and I love this. I love what I'm seeing. And I believe if you can be our ambassadors, especially you, the young, go back to your schools. Of course, reaching Parliament, some of us, I wished Parliament, I don't know when I was working at PPD, I never entered the Parliament. At the age of maybe 50, for you have entered the Parliament when you are young. You have debated with parliamentarians here. You have impressed all of us. So, this is the starting point. Your future is bright. But to be bright, you have to be disciplined. You have to embrace these values. These values of transparency, accountability, and fight corruption. So keep it up, NCDC. We want support to appreciate the schools that have participated and sponsored and supported these children of ours. I want to appreciate GIZ and all other support, all other funders. And I want to appreciate also my colleagues in anti-corruption agencies. Of course, you speak very good English. Maybe you went to nurseries. Some of us did it. So when you hear us speak, like Uganda sort of, or Nyankore sort of English, don't say what sort of gets to one about this. Appreciate our different backgrounds. But the important thing is that, have you got the message? When it is spoken in Uganda or in Nyankore or in Arul, the important thing is the message, and appreciating the message. When you go back home, take back the message. And don't, if your dad or mom doesn't speak English, translate this into the local language so that it is, you become ambassadors. I want to end there. This debate was at PPD at one time, and I was very, very happy when I saw these children debating. The way I was very impressed, and even when I leave PPD, if I'm still in the circles of, always invite me. I would want to come and see what is happening and how this is evolving. I decided to interest my daughter. I don't know whether Angel is here. You stand up. I interested my daughter to come and see. She's in senior 3. She's in senior 3 at Budo. So maybe next time, Budo, I didn't see Budo participating in this debate. Maybe Mr. Kakaye should also interest them to come and participate. I want to thank you and pray that the good Lord bless you, all of you, for God and my country.
Let's give a bigger hand clap to our chief guest. So we are going to run through an award ceremony in really, really quick fashion. And after you have received your award, we shall request you to make your way to the vans and fill up the vans quickly so we can move back. And when you get to London College, please go freshen up, don on that tuxedo, nice dinner dress, and head to the dinner venue. Okay? So we shall award some of, and actually most of the awards at the dinner, and others. So we're just going to pick up winners for now, for purposes of saving time. I said that we each have a pack. If I call your school and you're coming to receive an award, you'll also receive your pack and get moving. And those of us that are not going to be picking particular awards here, make sure you also receive your pack and go with it. These things are already packed and they are in envelopes, so it's very easy. The ladies on the admin table will be able to manage. If you want to take a selfie with your award or anything, this is the place. You come and stand behind these logos and take your selfie. Okay, so let's start this way. We are going to start with the juniors. We are going to start with individual events. And as always, we have guests who help us to award. I would like to invite my brother, Mr. Chol, to come and help us award this category. Welcome, sir. Okay, so the winner, junior category, individual events. The winner, storytelling, is Okiriza Faith Pamela. Please make your way here quickly. And the winner, public speech, juniors. Now, Mr. Krame was talking about the daughter. I also have a job tonight to console Gaela. So the winner is Abigawa Abraham. Congratulations, Abigawa. I know you and Gaela are friends, so you'll keep talking. And the winner, poetry. Poetry, juniors, the winner, umpire. Parental care. Congratulations, John. Please make your way to the stage to receive your trophies and the other awards. And congratulations to you all. Please be fast. We don't have much time. The three debaters, the coach, because the coaches also have awards here. So each coach is receiving a plaque. The students are receiving medals. I think the coach is also receiving a medal. And the trophies to both of them. Give it up for them, people. Seniors now, individual events for seniors. This is how we are. Seniors, individual events. Best storyteller, seniors. Akol Ajak Deng. After receiving your awards, okay, let me just call your names, guys, so you get ready. Best poet, you don't have to come to the stage, seniors, just get ready and hang around. Best poet, Mangeni Trevor. Best public speaker, seniors, Samrat Chorot. Ladies and gentlemen, the best debater, Bambale Jonat. Now this year we have a pleasant surprise. We have trophies for schools that have performed best in their regions. And remember, I was reading. Okay. Can we have bright grammar? The rest come this way. All of you, please come this way. Everyone else, come this way. Everyone else who is not bright grammar, come where I am. Don't go that side. Make sure you're not walking. Okay. So bright grammar, can you stand and face the people? Stand properly with all your medals. Put on your medal. Don't hold the medal. The medal is supposed to go around the neck. Okay, so bright grammar, let's just go back to you. Bright grammar, you have a trophy. Can you receive your trophy? Bright grammar are the runners up, and I'm seeing a trophy that doesn't look like that. we have to be transparent here, very, very transparent. So runners up, bright grammar. The coach has a plaque, I think. Can the coach receive the plaque as well? The people managing the awards, please do your homework well. Congratulations, bright grammar. And when that shot is taken, you may take your seats. Congratulations to you. Can we now invite the champions there? Parental care, please move. You've received your medals, received your trophy, and the coach's plaque. Congratulations, young people. And the coach is appreciated for the efforts. At NDC, we appreciate teachers very much, and that's why he has a medal and a plaque to appreciate him. The only award I have in my 7 years of teaching is actually a debate plaque when I won the championship. And the empty boxes of chalk in my house. Congratulations to you, parental care. Okay, Medina Islamic, take up your place. Best new school for the juniors, Medina Islamic. Okay, so now we can confidently move on to the seniors. We had started off with storytelling. Best storyteller, Akola Jack. Congratulations, Medina Islamic. Can we have Mangeni Trevor? Make your way here quickly. Best poet and the best public speaker should also be on their way. And we have the plaque for the best poet. I'm aware that the best poet also has a medal, and I don't see him wearing one. Can we also have the best public speaker? Please make your way to the stage. Congratulations. Congratulations, Trevor. Amazing poet. And congratulations, Samrawit. I'm doing my homework on that name. It's a tough one. Congratulations to you. And best debater, Bwambale Jonathan. Bale Jonathan, best debater of the tournament. Come on, give up for this guy. This guy is fire. He's also the best debater at the Uganda Speech and Debate Champions League that we did with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. So it's no surprise, he's back, rocking. Okay, so I was explaining that we have trophies for all regional winners. We did 8 regionals last year, and we have 8 trophies for schools that have been the best in their regions. And here we are, Renzori Nakasura School. The tab showed that Nakasura School topped the schools in that region. So please come and receive your trophy, Nakasura School. Guru, you know we did the tournament at Restore Academy. Sacred Heart SS Guru topped the tab in the region. So Sacred Heart, make your way to the stage and receive your trophy. And after you've received your trophy as a school, please move and pick your pack, the pack I've been talking about. It is always good for the coach to accompany the debaters. These guys are double champions. They've been champions at NSDC 2 times. Congratulations to you. Sacred Heart are the only girls' school that have won NSDC, and that was 2011. So congratulations to you, Sacred Heart, for topping tab for your region. Our greetings to the people of Northern Uganda. And topping the tab for the Wakiso region is St. Mary's College Kisubi. So come and receive your trophy for topping the tab in your region. Topping Kampala tab is Kawempe Muslim. So Kawempe Muslim, come and receive your trophy for being the best school in your region. For Chira region, Kira College Boutique topped the tab. So Kira College Boutique, make your way here and receive your trophy for topping tab in that region. Elkem region, Amos College School topped. So Amos College School, please come and receive your trophy as well. West Nile, Muni Girls topped the tab. So Muni Girls, come and receive your trophy. And for Ankole Chigezi, the school that tabbed highest in that region is Mbara High School. Come and receive your trophy as well. Congratulations to you all for emerging best school of your region. Keep working hard. We now move on to Best New School, a school that is featuring at NSTC for the first time and has performed best among those that are new. And you all know which school that is. These guys are getting, they are now in a double. They are now in a double. So the school, the best new school is Kawempe Muslim, as you all know. Congratulations to you. We still have Marahai here. Someone told me winners are never rushed, so Marahai, come and receive your trophy. And your head teacher is an individual coach of NSDC, Mr. Hindisiwe, a very good man of virtue. Send our love and greetings to him. And congratulations to you. Okay, so Kawempe Muslim, second runners up, the school that ranks number 3 at this championship is Kira College Butiki. They receive a trophy and they receive bronze medals. Now, I am expecting the chief adjudicator back to give us the verdict so we can award the winner and the runners-up. Those are not through. And you can see the awards are significantly reducing. Congratulations to you. We have one more trophy that we are going to award at the dinner. That's why you're seeing 3 trophies. There's a trophy for the most improved school. The most improved school, we have to refer to 2019 and make some comparisons. So TAB is working on that. So we shall award that trophy at the dinner. We need to award the school that is most improved from the last tournament, the most improved school. So that's why you have 3 trophies there. So the other 2 trophies, we have the runners-up trophy and the champion trophy. And plaques. There's a plaque I'm seeing there that is unfamiliar. Can I have it? I think it is for the essay. Please bring it. That one you're holding in your hand. That one. Yes, I know. Is Orungu Felix here? Orungu Felix? Aha. So this young man, when we did the virtual challenge, he was unreachable because he was in senior 6 vacation and communication was difficult, but now he's made his way. You remember on 30th of March at the PPDA Towers, we awarded people who participated in the virtual National Students and Corruption Challenge. And the winner of essay category for seniors, Rongo Felix, is here to receive his award. So please give it up for him. There were also schools that participated at the Uganda Speech and Debate Champions League, which happened at the office of the president, and their certificates were still in production, but they are now ready. So please invite with me Mengo Senior School to receive their certificate as the champions of champions last year. And it's pleasant that Mr. Cho is the one awarding because he was our host today. Also, Kira College Butiki, please invite with me to receive their certificate as well. And just for information, all participating schools at this championship will receive certificates that look like this. They are on boards. So those will be coming through as well. Nakasura School and Gombe Secondary School who are not here. I know it will be very difficult to tell anyone to go to the bus before they know who the winners are. So Chief Adjudicator, Come and make life easy for us. Come and tell us. We know the winner is there. So just come and tell us who the winner is. Congratulations, Gombe SS. So the chief guest will come to award the trophies. In the meantime, I think we can use this time to have the packs given away as the chief adjudicator comes. So I'll be reading your school. You run here quickly and receive your pack. Fort Portal SS. No, you first. Fort Portal SS. St. Mary's Assumpta Girls, Ajumani. Please make your way here and receive your pack. The team will be making the packs reach here quickly. Hope SS Laminadera, Hope Senior School, Laminadera. Koboko Public School, Koboko Public. Bali Baseka SS. Bubare SS. Bubare SS. St. Anthony Kakoge. St. Anthony. Seta High School, A-level campus. Seta High School, A-level campus. Rubongi Ame SS. Rubongi Ame SS. Mvara SS. Arua, Mvara SS. Wampeo Mtake SS. Wampeo Mtake SS. Jinja Senior Secondary School. Jinja Senior Secondary School. Gayaza Adventist SS. Gayaza Adventist SS. Check. Okay. Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. Lacho Seminary. Lacho Seminary. Mbale Senior Secondary School. Mbale Senior Secondary School. The schools that made it to the double octofinals. The schools that made it to the double octofinals. Hope Senior School, Nachirebe. Hope Senior School, Nachirebe. Nyachishojwa SS. Itoma, Nachishojwa SS. St. Charles Luanga, Koboko. St. Charles Luanga, Koboko. The Amazima School. The Amazima School. Alliance SS Ibanda. Alliance SS. Metu SS. Metu SS. Munigal Zesas. Cod High School. Cod High School. Kasese SS. Kasese SS. Boni Consili.